In 1929, a British company built the largest lorry the world had ever seen, a machine that hauled 100 tons, entire locomotives, through ordinary streets. A decade later, their trucks carried Britain's tanks to war. When a load was too big, too heavy, or too impossible, the answer was always Scammell. But this epic rise began with nothing more than a horse, a cart, and one wheelwright shop. By 1929, the name Scammell commanded absolute authority on British roads. If an industrial boiler needed moving or an entire railway engine required transport through narrow city streets, hauliers did not look to standard lorries. They called for a Scammell. The firm had become the ultimate answer for extreme heavy haulage, operating on a scale never before attempted in Britain. Yet this reputation for conquering the impossible was forged not in a modern industrial plant, but decades earlier amidst the coal smoke and iron tyre rims of Victorian London. In the 1890s, the heart of London's East End was a maze of cobblestones, coal smoke and horse-drawn traffic. Here on Fashion Street in Spitalfields, George Scammell operated G. Scammell and Nephew. George was not an engineer of giant trucks, he was a wheelwright, a master craftsman working with wood, iron and sweat. The workshop focused on building and repairing wooden carts and delivery vans for the city's busy markets. It was a trade built entirely on honest, practical labour and the sheer durability of hand-forged wheels. Yet as the turn of the century approached, the modern world began to knock on the workshop door. The firm's first real encounter with mechanical power came when they took on the sale and maintenance of Edwin Foden's early steam wagons. For a team of traditional wheelwrights, repairing these heavy, soot-belching machines was a revelation. It was their very first taste of motorised transport, planting a seed of mechanical ambition in a traditional Victorian shop. That ambition found its spark in a demanding London haulier named Edward Rudd. In 1914, Rudd imported a Knox tractor from America. It was an unusual lightweight machine, but it possessed a striking ability to pull heavy payloads with minimal axle weight. Impressed by this mechanical efficiency, Rudd brought the tractor to the Spitalfields workshop. He issued a direct challenge to the Scammell team: build a British equivalent but make it stronger, more reliable and better suited for the nation's demanding transport needs. Before they could begin cutting steel, the outbreak of the First World War in 1914 halted the project. The war effort redirected all of Britain's manufacturing resources to military logistics, forcing the firm to shelve Rudd's concept. Yet the war did not destroy the idea. Instead, years of brutal battlefield operations across Europe proved the absolute necessity of motorised transport over horse-drawn haulage. These wartime lessons sharpened the firm's understanding of mechanical endurance, ensuring that when peace returned, Scammell was ready to turn their delayed ambition into a reality. Alfred George Scammell returned from the Great War with a shattered body but an iron will. George Scammell's great-nephew had served as a lieutenant colonel until a severe battlefield injury forced him out of the army. In 1920, he walked back into the Spitalfields workshop with his mind set on the pre-war challenge, building the articulated machine inspired by Edward Rudd's Knox tractor. His answer was the Scammell articulated six-wheeler. By splitting the engine unit from the trailer, Alfred created a vehicle that could carry a massive 7.5-ton payload at 12 miles per hour. It was a mechanical revolution, doubling the speed of standard heavy lorries while keeping axle weights remarkably low. Scammell marketed this triumph with a legendary promise: 7.5 tons at 3-ton cost and speed. The strategy worked. When the machine debuted, transport operators recognised a revolution. Orders poured in, overwhelming the modest East End workshop and proving that Alfred's engineering ambition had true commercial power. Scammell was no longer just repairing carts, they were defining the future of British transport. The Spitalfields workshop could no longer contain this sudden success. To meet the massive surge in orders, the family firm took a bold leap forward. In July 1921, they floated a new public company, Scammell Lorries Limited, with Alfred George Scammell taking the reins as managing director. They purchased 10 acres of land northwest of London, and on May 1st, 1922, the Talpits Lane factory in Watford officially opened its doors. This new plant turned Scammell from a local workshop into a major industrial force, a production hub that would define the brand's rugged reputation for decades. New designs quickly followed the move. In 1926, the company patented the world's first frameless tanker. By eliminating the heavy chassis, the design allowed trucks to carry far more liquid. Shellmex immediately placed massive orders, proving that Watford was now home to world-class engineering. In 1929, Scammell took on its most audacious project yet, led by the brilliant and inventive chief engineer Oliver Danson North. The engineering team set out to construct a single, road-legal machine capable of moving massive industrial payloads without resorting to multiple tractors. The result of their labour was the legendary 100-tonner. Only 2 of these mechanical giants were ever built, yet they immediately captured the public imagination. They earned their reputation through brute, practical work, hauling 75-ton steam locomotives and colossal electrical transformers directly down public roads, stopping traffic with their sheer, awe-inspiring scale. To propel this massive weight, North originally installed a 7-litre petrol engine. It was an incredibly thirsty power plant, swallowing a gallon of fuel every 3/4 of a mile. To make daily operations practical, Scammell later rebuilt both units with highly efficient Gardner diesel engines, significantly improving their fuel economy and extending their working lives. For over 20 years, these 2 legendary machines ruled British heavy haulage with absolute authority, proving that when the nation built big, Watford built bigger. In 1927, Scammell turned its engineering focus from raw weight to sheer terrain mobility with the launch of the Pioneer. This heavy off-road tractor featured a patented walking beam rear suspension, a mechanical system designed to conquer the roughest ground. The configuration allowed each wheel to climb a full foot over obstacles, creating a massive 2-foot diagonal stretch between axles while keeping all tyres pressed firmly to the earth. This extraordinary grip caught the attention of oil and logging companies operating worldwide, sending these Watford-built machines into the most unforgiving wildernesses. When the Second World War broke out, this rugged capability became an essential national asset. Scammell manufactured over 3,000 military Pioneers, deploying them to recover and transport heavy tanks across the thick mud and sand of North Africa and Normandy. Yet while the Pioneer conquered the wilderness, the firm also revolutionised the city. Applying this same practical design philosophy, Scammell developed the 3-wheeled mechanical horse, a compact, nimble machine that replaced thousands of working horses in railway yards and postal depots. After the war, Scammell secured its place as the undisputed king of heavy haulage. When civilian infrastructure demanded unprecedented power, Watford answered with the massive contractor class. Equipped with roaring Cummins engines, these heavy haul tractors conquered the road, moving immense industrial payloads weighing up to 240 tons. The company's capabilities expanded further in 1955 when Scammell joined the Leyland Group, gaining access to a vast network of components and advanced power units that broadened its vehicle range. Yet the march of industrial consolidation eventually caught up with the Watford legend. In July 1988, the doors of the Tolpits Lane factory closed forever, ending nearly 70 years of production. George Scammell started with a horse and cart, but the men who bore his name built the toughest trucks Britain ever made, the machines that moved the impossible. Today, that proud spirit of British grit lives on in every heavy haulage crew tackling the extraordinary. George Scammell started with a horse and cart, but the men who bore his name built the toughest trucks Britain ever made, the machines that moved the impossible.